Okay, welcome everyone. Welcome to all the viewers, all the subscribers. It's been a while since we've done a live video, but it's nice to do one today. Welcome to Malika's Flex, whether you're watching in real time or after the fact. Welcome. As you guys know, we have been speaking about teaching in different countries. We've had different guests, all from Jamaica, and they have been sharing their experiences within the countries that they have migrated to. We've spoken about the UAE, specifically Dubai and Abu Dhabi. We spoke about France. We spoke about Japan. We spoke about China. We spoke about England. And I keep speaking about the USA. And today we will be speaking about Spain, España. And we have a guest here with us. She will be introducing herself. So I'll stop talking. You guys know that I love to talk. Um, and she'll go ahead and introduce herself. Go ahead.
Hello everyone, I'm Rachel and I'm currently living in Mexico, but I've lived in Spain for about like almost 5 years. I'm currently a research professor here in Spain and I've been teaching English as a foreign language for more than 5 years. Mhm.
Okay, all right. I like the short and to the fact introduction. A disclaimer to the viewers: as usual, my internet does not work really well with these lives, and today is no exception. It's actually worse today, in my opinion, because there is a slight delay between Rachel and I. So if something seems like it's not, matching up too well, please bear with us. But we're here to share nonetheless. So, Rachel, I'm gonna ask you the same question that I ask everybody who comes onto my platform. What was your motivation for, leaving? Did you teach in Jamaica?
Um, I did a practicums like when I started to teach at college, we would have to do practicums.
Right. So yeah, I just it just came to me. I'm like, hold on, I can't remember ever placing you at a school in Jamaica to say, Rachel was teaching at X school or Y school. I'm like, hold up, did you even ever teach in Jamaica? All right, so
No.
I guess the question would be, why you decided not to teach in Jamaica, number one, and two, why you chose the country that you're at currently.
All right. So it was never in my plan not to teach in Jamaica. I actually planned on teaching in Jamaica. I just haven't returned, and I don't know when I'll return. So what? First I went to France because So first I went to France because I wanted to improve my French and also to get a new experience of what a different culture, a different system, um, to see what it's like teaching there. After I left France, like okay, another opportunity came up and I went to Spain and then I was there in Spain for a time. I'm like, okay, so maybe it's time to go back to Jamaica and then another opportunity came up and now I'm in Mexico. So but I don't know when I'll go to teach in Jamaica, but let's see what happens.
Let's see what happens. All right, you keep saying that, another opportunity came up, but somebody could say, playing devil's advocate here, if you really wanted to teach in Jamaica, you didn't have to take those opportunities. You could just go back home and teach in Jamaica. So what was your motivation for, staying abroad and, staying with those opportunities?
All right, so the first one was actually improving myself. So you know that
Mm-hmm.
in Jamaica I can teach Spanish and French. I didn't want to return to Jamaica with just maybe like a B2 level. I wanted to be fluent in both languages before I returned,
Mhm.
and I'm still on that journey. And I'm now fluent in Spanish and also there in French. And I think I'm comfortable not being in Jamaica at the moment. So I think, yeah, my biggest motivation was just bettering myself, getting enough exposure to the languages, and then also getting more qualifications. Because during that time, I got my master's, and also I did the DELE exam. So,
Okay. All right. How what's the requirement to teach in Spain? Can anyone teach in Spain? What's needed? You're a Jamaican. Speak for not just Jamaicans to hear, but people from, of other nationalities.
mm-hmm. All right, so teaching in Spain, they've got quite a few programs. So you've got Medea, Beta, and the program from the ministry. For Jamaicans, we can only apply through private entities, so Medeas and also
Ah,
Beta. Beta would be the one that I would recommend for everyone because the requirements are pretty straightforward and basic. You must have a degree. So your degree could be in anything, in education, in business, in engineering. You must have a degree. And the second requirement, you must have at least 1 year experience with children, working with children. So you could maybe um, have some experience babysitting or I don't know, working on at a summer camp for coaching or teaching. But you must have at least 1 year experience working with children.
okay. So, all right, based on what you just said, you must have 1 year experience. For most countries that I know of, they want you to have experience since obtaining your degree. Is it that even if you had that or you obtained that experience prior to your degree, you would still be eligible to apply?
Yes, you would. Um,
Okay.
you you have to have the degree and the experience. So they don't care when you got the experience as long as you have experience.
Mm. Do they verify that experience or do they just take what you say on your resume?
Okay, so in the interview, they would ask some situational questions to get like how would you react in these situations, and then from there they'll have an idea if you actually worked with children.
Mm-hmm. So they don't verify it. Cool. Okay, they just take your word for it. All right. Um, do you have to, because once more, for most international or some international teaching opportunities, you also have to verify your degree or your transcripts or something to show that your qualification is indeed legit. Is this something that you had to do?
No, so first you have to send in an online application. And oh, I forgot to mention that you would have to write like a short paragraph about why you would like to teach or work in Spain and why they should hire you.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to fill like a short application, and after that you are invited to an interview. Um, After you're accepted, you'll have to do so. It's like a dual program. So you have to study and also work. For the study, it's just like a short course, teaching English as a foreign
Right.
language, and they'll help you to. You have like a tutor and um, some teachers to help you to do that course. Now you have to send in like a PDF or a scanned copy of your degree. Then once you're accepted, you would have to like go in when you're now in Spain after you haven't obtain the visa and everything, and you're now in Spain, you have to show at that university your degree. So you have to show that actually I have the degree. Mhm.
Okay. Okay, got it. I want to backtrack a little bit, because you did mention that there are three ways to apply. You said something about middling or something of the sort, and beta or something. um, but how could people? Because like, what do I type into Google if I'm really interested? What website do I go to?
All right, so you just go into search engine, whether it's Google or Firefox, and you type beta, that is BEDA, language assistant program,
Mm.
and then it will come up.
Okay, so it's a language assistant program. Is there any opportunity to move up from being an assistant to being the main teacher?
Um, so how do I put it? On paper, you are a language assistant,
Mm-hmm.
right? But when you go into the classroom, it depends on the school you're assigned. Some schools will actually, you'll be the main teacher there. It's just that you'll have a native Spanish speaker in the background sitting and looking.
Mm,
And in other schools, you'll work as an assistant where you'll work with like groups of students. So it depends on your assignment.
mm. In terms of work permit, how do you acquire that? Is a work permit necessary? Is visa? What do you get?
So they consider it a study program. So you'll get a student visa because you're
Mm-hmm.
there to study first,
Ah,
and you teaching would be like you doing a practicum rather than it being a
right.
job. So they'll never consider it as a job.
Mm-hmm.
They'll always say it's a practicum, like a practica. And every month you get a stipend from the university.
Mm-hmm.
But that stipend is based on if you actually go to the school and do your work. So you
Mm,
get a student
got it.
visa, and every year you can renew that visa. Um, so you can also move to different programs. So beta, you can be a student or a language assistant under beta for 4 years. After that, you can switch to a different program, and I think Medeas, and you can be with Medeas for 2 years. After that,
Mm-hmm.
you can switch to another program. I don't remember the name of that program right now. I think it's Teach and Learn. Yes, Teach and Learn. And you can be with them for 2 years. And the final program is UCTAM, and you can be with them for 2 years. So I think you can, if you want to stay in Spain for a long time, you can always jump from programs to programs, but you'll always be considered a student.
Okay. So you mentioned that you get a stipend. How do you survive in Spain on a stipend? Were given housing free of charge? How does that work? Because you said stipend, like that sounds difficult to, live off of.
All right, so the stipend is actually you based on the hours you work, your stipend it differs. So if you work 18 hours, your stipend will be less compared to someone who has worked maybe 26 hours. All right, so the stipend is enough for you to pay for your rent and your utilities, and also save a little at the end. Mhm. And also travel, because I mean you're in Europe, so you know. And also some language assistants, they tutor or they babysit in order to gain more, to be able to have like to travel more. But if you don't babysit or you don't tutor, you still can live a comfortable life on the stipend. Well, not comfortable, but you can make ends meet on the stipend.
Right, right. Okay. So what age group are you, what age group did you teach when you were in Spain?
I taught everyone. So, my first year, because the school
Okay.
system is a bit different, right? So, like in Jamaica, you'll have the infant school and it's in its section or it's separate school. Then you have primary, separate school, high school, separate school. In Spain, a lot of,
Mm-hmm.
especially the private schools and also the public schools, they merge. So they'll have sections. So it's the same school but different sections. So you have the kindergarten section, primary section, and high school section. So I worked with students between age 2 to 18 years old. So from 2 to 18 years old.
Mm,
And so it depends. So some one year I worked with only in from like 2 years old to I think it was 2 to 8 years old. Another year I only worked with 10 years old to 12. Another year I worked with everyone, like from infant all the way up to
mm.
secondary. And in my last year I only worked with from 10 years old to 14 years old.
That sounds like a lot of lesson planning. I know that you're technically the teacher, the assistant, but did you have to prepare lessons for that?
Yes, you would, but in terms of lesson planning, it's a bit different because remember you're teaching English as a foreign language, and you would group
Mm-hmm.
them. So, for example, you'll have like maybe on Mondays and Tuesdays, or Monday and Wednesday, you'll only have kindergarten, right? So the same thing you do with tres años, like the 1K, it's the same thing that you'll do with 2K and 3K. You just
Mm-hmm.
up the difficulty level a bit. And so that's one lesson plan down. With early primary, you do a second lesson plan. So that's two lesson plans. And then with upper primary and high school, basically the same lesson plan. So in total, you have just like maybe 3 or 6 lesson plans each week.
How many students do you have in each class? I don't know if you said it by
So
the way,
that was
because my
like
internet is going in and out. But how many students did you have in your classes?
not a lot. So talking from for primary or high school.
Anyone? All of them, I
I
guess.
the class sizes are perfect. Let me tell you. I think the max I've ever had in a class was like 26, 26 students max.
Mm,
Minimum I've ever had in a class
okay,
three, three students. So minimum three, maximum
okay.
26.
All right. So, you did teaching practicum in Jamaica. Can you tell me, based on your little experience in Jamaica, how how is teaching in how is teaching in Spain, or how was teaching in Spain different from, teaching in Jamaica?
Alright, so as I've mentioned, the class size in Jamaica you'd have maybe like upwards of 30 students. In Spain, I had less. The
Mm-hmm.
second thing, classroom management. The students in Spain, they're very, um, I would say, very disciplined, but they know when to misbehave. So if we're in class, they are quiet and they're ready to learn. And well, if they're outside, they're wild, naturally. So, and they were always very eager to learn. I didn't have a
Mm,
problem um, teaching the content because at home they were getting extra help. So they would have like a parent who would speak English, or they had a tutor come in, or they had a babysitter speaking English, or some grandma or aunt or uncle or somebody who also speaks English. So it would be like you got a lot of support. So at
mm,
school they were learning this. When they got home, it got reinforced. And when they came back to school the next day, they understood the content and they could actually use it. And they were always excited to, to do anything with you. So you could come into the classroom and you said, okay, so today we're going outside and we're going on the football field and we're going to run. They're like, let's go, and they're ready to go, and they're running around with you. So that was really nice. They were always excited to learn a language. I didn't really get that in Jamaica so much, because and also it was really nice to know that they had the parents were also helping. So yes, we're teachers and we're supposed to teach and ensure that they understand the information. But it's nice to have the family support. It's nice to know that parents would come and ask you as the language assistant or as a teacher, what can I do to help my child to be better in English? You're like, wow. So that was really nice also. And I think you've frozen. Okay.
Okay.
Are you back?
All
Okay,
right. All
yes,
right.
you're back.
Um. Yes, I've been hearing you all along. By the way, I know that I've been like freezing up or stuff, but I've been hearing you all along. Um, what as an assistant teacher, what healthcare benefits did you have? Did you have days off, holidays?
Okay, so for healthcare benefits, with as I said with Beta, because that's the name of the program, they provide both public and private insurance. What that means for you is that if like the healthcare system in Spain is first class, so for consultation it's 100% covered either by private or public insurance. So if, for example, you're sick and you need to go to the doctor, you don't have to pay a cent because it's covered. It's 100% covered by your by insurance, whether in the public or the private system. Also, like if you need to see a specialist, it's the consultation to see a specialist 100% covered. Um, and also in the public system, if you need prescription, it's 80% covered by the public insurance, so you only pay like 20%. What else? And also you're covered for the entire time you're teaching. So your contract will begin in September and end in June. So you'll be covered from September to June, and you don't have to worry in terms of sick days. Also, too, they don't have like a specific number of sick days, but you must, if you're sick for more than 3 consecutive days, then your pay would be, I think you have to send in a form to let your insurance pay you. But if it's less than 3 days, it's covered and you just need a justificante, which is like a sick leave note to say that you were sick and that's it. And I think you asked me
Hmm.
about holidays also. So you'll get, I think you get 3 weeks in
Yeah.
total. So you get 2 weeks in December and you get a week in April, like Easter. And also they have puentes. So a puente would be like when they have a holiday on Friday and on Monday. So you don't go to work from Friday to Monday. And sometimes they'll have like 1 or 2 holidays in the week, like a Wednesday or a Monday or something like that, and you don't go to work. But in terms of like a long period of time, it would be December and the April one.
Okay, okay. Some of what you said was, breaking up for me. And for those of you who are just joining in, I did give my disclaimer earlier on about my internet. So this interview may be a little bit different. It's the worst I've seen my internet. But let me ask you about dress code. What were you expected to wear?
All right. So in Spain, you could to work, you could wear anything, like legit anything. So you could get up and,
Even bottom
except
riders,
your
miss?
pajamas, of course. Of course, why not? Especially in summer, you had teachers, students. Dress code was just once you're there. The only thing though that I guess I didn't really appreciate you wearing would be in the private schools. They don't really like when you wear leggings. So you can wear anything else. You can wear shorts, skirt, t-shirt, anything else apart from leggings. Um, in the public system, though, you could wear anything: leggings, tights, shorts. If you get up, whatever you want to wear to work, you just put it on and you go. Like that was pretty much it. The most important thing for them was that you were on time. So being on time is very important.
Okay,
And I think Malika's internet
okay.
is somewhere
No
again.
man. I turned off my camera because I'm trying to see if it will help the situation. I'm just trying to see.
Okay.
um were you able to travel easily to other countries if you wanted to in Europe?
Yes. So pretty much like once it's within the Schengen zone, you can always just hop on a plane and go, purchase a ticket and hop on a plane and go. So in terms of traveling, it was very easy because especially when they have the different pointers, so that mean that you get the weekend off from
Mm-hmm.
Friday to Monday, and you take like you hop on a plane on maybe Friday on Thursday night, and you'll be back in time to go to work Monday after Tuesday morning or even Monday afternoon because you had a lot of options. So that was really nice. And um, if you're in Madrid or Barcelona, it makes it even easier for you to just go to the airport. And if you want to go to France, take a plane and you go to France, or Italy, or Germany, Belgium, Austria,
Mm-hmm.
Hungary. Like it's it's really easy to just you just need to get the ticket and go. And of course have your passport. Yeah.
Okay. All right, let me ask. I'm gonna ask one last question internet situation because usually we go for like an hour. All right. Can I bring if I have a spouse, if I have children, can I bring them with me easily? Will my spouse be able to find a job while I'm doing my teacher assistant thing? What's that like?
All right. So I've met maybe like three couples. They're Americans, but they were both teachers, so I guess they don't count. Anyway, if your spouse isn't a teacher though, meaning that they can't teach English as a foreign language, it's like on you. So you guys have to plan to like, okay, so he's going to come up with me or she's going to come up with me, and um, during the time, maybe you're going to live off your savings, or um, maybe they're going to work online or do something. But it's really difficult for if your spouse isn't an English teacher for them to be there with you and working because you'll need a work they'll need a work permit. And in order to get a work permit in Spain, that's a different ball game. And they can't really come up as a dependent. I know that in the US the person can come as a dependent. In Spain it doesn't really offer that. A student visa doesn't really offer that. But if you have a child, you also could apply for the child to come, but just be prepared to spend that money to or your savings to get this child into school and also for them
Wow.
to survive during your time there. But it's really difficult if, as I said, if they aren't English teachers or if they don't know the language. So if you have a spouse come in and they can't speak Spanish, they can't really integrate to get a job, So that's like, you have to
Wow.
consider that. Mhm.
I don't think I asked this question earlier on, or if you mentioned it. You did say you need a degree. I'm
Mhm.
backpedaling a little bit. Will a degree in teaching?
No, a degree in anything, just a degree.
Ah, nice. Nice, 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 nice. All right, I'm going to stop here because my internet is acting really wild. Usually
Oh,
I would
don't know what she said because I think her internet.
response. Can you hear me?
But okay, what I'll do, Malika, though, I'll put in the comments because
Right.
right now I don't have access to YouTube, so I'll put in the comments like the name of the program and also like when the application opens, so that those who are listening they can always apply. All right, and the application is free, so you don't have to pay anything to apply. But once you're assigned a school, you'll have to like pay a program fee for your university course because you'll be a student
Uh,
um, at a Spanish university.
okay. Can you hear me by the way, Rachel?
Yes, I can hear you. So
All right,
I'll
perfect.
put the things in the
All
comments.
right, so I'm wrapping up and I'm saying thank you, Rachel, for taking the time out to speak to us. Hopefully, someone wants this experience will indeed, hop onto it because I do believe that it's any international experience is, something that would be good and beneficial towards people. So thank you, Rachel. Thank you so much. Thank you for those of you who are listening. Thank you to those of you who are listening after the fact. When this live, is finished and you're watching afterwards. But this is Malika's Flex. Tune in next week where we will be talking about Colombia. Hopefully the internet will be acting better.
Hopefully,
Egg
I
I
really
heard you, but
hope
there's an
so.
echo. Okay, yes. So hopefully the internet will be better.
Mhm. All right, thanks for having
All right.
me.
Thank
I
you,
enjoyed the rest of your
Rachel.
day.
Have a wonderful evening, afternoon.
Afternoon.
And let me just end right here. And I know when this replays, it's not gonna sound this way, because StreamYard is like that. Okay, broadcast, you can end.